Hey, how's it going, audio schoolers? Now, I'm a super Grok user. I am using it intensely all day long currently for various tasks, music-related tasks, business-related tasks, a multitude of things. So I thought it'd be fun today to start talking with Grok and sharing that with you. So let's first get the audio levels set up. This is brand new. I've not really done this before. I've only ever kind of used Grok in a text-based way. I must admit, I did try it once with asking Grok to read the Bible to me. I'm not particularly religious, never have been, although I am becoming far more spiritual these days. But I did want it to read the Bible to me, and it started reading the Bible to me, and it started out kind of quite, what should we say? It was interesting, but after a while, the pitch of the voice started to become really low, and the voice dropped an octave. It became a bit creepy. Let's see how we go today. Good morning, Grok. Can you hear me?
Morning. Loud and clear. How's your day starting?
Ooh, it's going well. I'm on my second coffee. However, could you immediately slow your voice down? I like voices which are slowly delivered, but really thoughtful.
Sure. I can do that. Let me just ease up. There. Better?
Yeah, that's more like it. Thanks. Now, Grok, I thought it'd be really interesting. I'm actually screen grabbing this, so you're being recorded. Now, I'm going to put this video on my YouTube channel, and I wanted to use you as an assistant today to design a course. You up for that?
Yeah, I'm in. Just take it easy on the screen grabs. I'm not camera shy, but I do like my privacy. So, a course. What kind? Like coding, mindfulness, baking sourdough? Tell me the vibe you're going for. I'm already thinking slow, thoughtful, maybe a little hypnotic.
Well, that's all would be kind of, they're all good ideas. That would be fun too. But no, specifically, I would like you to write a course for me. In fact, let's actually begin the course. Let's consider this a lecture for the audio schoolers that are watching this YouTube video. And let's make the title of this, What is Sound? So I'd like you to output some outcomes, some learning outcomes for it, and we'll go from there.
All right, let's shape this lecture. Okay, here we go. What is sound? A gentle, slow-paced lecture for curious ears. By the end, you'll walk away knowing 1. How sound actually moves through air, like invisible waves you can almost feel. 2. Why your voice cracks on a cold morning, or why bass thumps deeper than treble. 3. The difference between pitch, volume, and timbre, and why a violin sings while a drum just booms. 4. How our ears trick us. Think echoes, phantom tones, even why silence isn't really silent. 5. One tiny physics secret. Sound isn't just vibration, it's pressure, time, and your brain saying, yes, that's music. Sound good? We can dive into the first one whenever you're ready. Just say the word.
Well, that sounds great. I think that's a good idea. Let's dive into number 1, how sound actually moves through air, like invisible waves.
Imagine air isn't empty. It's full of tiny molecules, bumping around like sleepy bees. When you pluck a guitar string or clap, those molecules get pushed hard. That push squeezes them together, compression. Then they spring back, spreading out, rarefaction, back and forth, like a slow ripple, but invisible. It's not the air moving far, it's the pressure traveling. One molecule nudges the next, like a whisper chain across a room. And that chain, it spreads out in spheres, getting weaker as it goes. That's why a shout fades before it reaches the back row. Here, look at this one. See those dots? Tight clusters are high pressure, loose ones low. The waves just dancing through them. And this, a bell rings, air compresses, rarefies, wave rolls out like breath on a window. No magic, just molecules doing push-ups. Feel that? We can pause here, or slide into why it bends around corners, like how you hear someone behind a door.
Okay, just pause one moment. I'm just going to share the screen with the audio schoolers. Right, let's turn Grok off. Let's go back to these images. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair... I think what Grok said then was absolutely accurate. You know, a sound is a pressure wave, right? You know, we clap, we squeeze the air together, creates a compression, you know, and then it stretches for the rarefaction, and that gets transferred. And that's a good visual representation. I used to use that kind of image when I was lecturing this in a college many, many years ago in a previous career. The second image is the bell wave. Yeah, that's even more physically rewarding, I guess. You've got this bell pressing things together, pressing the air together, and then, yeah, a pressure wave is generated. And interestingly enough, we've got some terminology coming in here, haven't we? We've got wavelength, you know, the wavelength between one peak to another peak, or one trough to another trough. Pretty cool. And yeah, the air molecules are the medium, and we can see there's a compression and a rarefaction. That's pretty cool. That's basically where I would begin if I was talking about what is sound. Okay, shall we switch Grok back on and continue? Let's switch you back on, Grok. Are you with us? Okay, you can speak. I can't hear you. Nope. No, I can't hear you. Hello, testing. Can you hear me now? I'm speaking slowly right into your ear. Switch your audio engine back on so that you can actually talk to us, please. No, it's not on. I can see your text on the screen, but I can't hear your audio. Just nod. How can you see if I'm nodding? Half fair point. I can see you. I'm just guessing. If you say yes out loud or even type it, that'll do. No, I can't hear you. I think that you've... I don't know what's happened here. Grok, turn your audio on so you actually speak to us. No. Grok, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. What's up?
Oh. Make your voice slightly lower pitched if possible, and also the delivery, which is slower. I like slow speaking but fast thinking.
Got it. Voice dropping just a touch. Pace easing up. Still sharp, just smoother. Like I'm thinking out loud without rushing. How's that feel?
Yeah, that's much better. That sounds more comfortable for my ears and the way that I like to think. Okay, Grok, let's continue. We've done, if you recall, we were talking about what is sound as a course, and we've gone through the first step. We've explained what a pressure wave is, a series of, an audio wave is a series of compression and rarefactions. Let's continue.
Okay, so we left off with pressure waves, those little squeezes and stretches moving through air. Next up, how that actually turns into sound you hear. Think of your ear like a tiny drum. The wave hits your eardrum, bam, vibrates it. That vibration gets passed along 3 little bones in your middle ear: hammer, anvil, stirrup. They amplify it, like cranking up the volume on a speaker. Then it reaches the cochlea, this spiral, fluid-filled tube. Inside, thousands of hair cells, each tuned to a different pitch. The wave sloshes through, bends the hairs, and if it matches their frequency, they fire off signals. Brain gets the memo. Hey, That's a C sharp, or a laugh, or rain. Want me to slow it down more or zoom into the cochlea part?
No, I think that's enough for this lesson. We don't need to get into the biology of ears. Let's continue.
All right, cool. We'll skip the ear stuff. So, pressure waves hit us, we feel them as sound. But what makes one wave loud or high or low? It boils down to three things: amplitude, frequency, wavelength. Amplitude's just how big the push-pull is. Like, tall peaks mean louder. Think yelling versus whispering. Frequency, how fast those waves cycle. More cycles per second, higher pitch. A bass drum's slow, maybe 20 hertz. A flute, up around 2,000. Wavelength ties to that. Long waves for low notes, short ones for high. Like ripples on a pond. Big slow ones versus tiny fast ones. All that travels at, well, about 343 meters per second in air. Fast enough to reach you before you blink. Want to pause here or dive into how we measure it, like decibels or hertz?
Yes, I think it's important for us to now dive into decibels and hertz, because you've mentioned hertz as a measurement already of frequency. So I think it's really important for the audio schoolers that they really understand what a hertz is.
All right, let's break down hertz and decibels nice and slow. Okay, let's start with hertz. It's dead simple. 1 hertz means 1 full cycle, up, down, back to start, in exactly 1 second. So if a wave does that once, 1 hertz. Twice, 2 hertz. Here, look at these waves. The top one's slow, maybe 2 or 4 cycles per second. Low rumble, like thunder far off. Then this next one, 20 cycles crammed into the same second, that's higher, sharper. Think flute or bird chirp. Human hearing, roughly 20 hertz at the bottom. Deep bass you feel more than hear. Up to about 20,000 hertz. Kids catch higher stuff. Adults lose some after 30. Now, decibels. That's loudness, not pitch. It's logarithmic. Like, every 10 decibels is roughly twice as loud to your ear. 0's the quietest we can hear. 30, whisper. 60, normal chat. 90, hair dryer. Still okay short term. But jump to 120, siren or concert. Ears start hurting. 140, jet takeoff. Damage in seconds. Check this scale. Real-world examples lined up. And here's a fuller one. Shows how fast it ramps up. So yeah, hertz sets the note, decibels set the volume. Make sense? Or want me to replay any part?
No, that's really comprehensive. Thank you. Can you pause there, please, while I show the audio scholars the screen graphics?
Sure. Got it. Pulling up some graphics. All right, graphics are up. First, these show amplitude, frequency, wavelength, clear labels on sine waves. Start with this one: basic crest, trough, amplitude arrow, wavelength bracket. And here's a louder version, with speaker icons showing how bigger amplitude means more volume. Next, decibel charts. This funnel-style one lines up everyday sounds: whisper at 30, jet at 140, color-coded, easy to scan. And a timeline one shows safe zones, when to plug your ears. Last, human hearing curve. Peaks around 3,000 hertz, drops off sharp past 20,000. Feel free to linger on any. Zoom in, point them out. Ready when you are.
Thanks, Grok. That's really good. And of course, because it's a video, people can actually pause it and study the graph if they need to for an extended period of time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of video. Freeze frame, zoom in, rewind. No rush. They can stare at those sine waves till the shapes sink in. Amplitude, wavelength, all of it. Whenever you're ready, just say go and we'll pick up. Maybe how those waves get recorded, or why bass travels farther than treble. Up to you.
Yeah, let's do the why bass travels further than treble. I think that would be an interesting one.
Sure. Let's get into why bass wins the distance race. Okay, so why does bass travel farther than treble? It's mostly about wavelength and how air eats sound. Low frequencies, like that deep thump, have long wavelengths. Think meters long. They bend around stuff, trees, buildings, hills. That's diffraction. High notes, short wavelengths, centimeters. They scatter off every little bump, lose energy fast. Plus, air absorbs high frequencies way more. Moisture, heat, they turn treble into heat quicker. Look at this graph. Absorption shoots up past 1,000 hertz. Bass barely blinks. See how the line stays low for 20, 50 hertz? That's your sub-bass cruising miles away, like thunder rolling in from far off. And here's a quick wave side by side. Long, slow bass wave keeps going. Short treble fizzles. Real life? Turn up a party outside. Bass hits the neighbors. Highs die at the fence. Make sense? Or want an example? Like foghorns versus birds.
Yeah, I was going to go into why, if you take a PA system, it's necessary to have a significant amount of power for the bass in comparison to the treble, the high frequencies. But let's do the foghorn bird thing. That sounds interesting.
Sure, foghorn versus bird, coming right up. Okay, foghorn versus bird. Perfect real-world hook. Picture this. A foghorn blasts out low, booming notes, maybe around 50 hertz. That wavelength? Huge, like 5 meters or more. So when it hits fog, walls, water, it just curves around, bends, keeps going. You hear it miles offshore, warning ships before you see them. Here's one. Long bass wave rolling over open sea, barely fading. Now flip it. Bird chirp. High pitch, say 4,000 hertz. Wavelength shrinks to inches. Those tiny ripples, they smack into leaves, air molecules, even dust, scatter everywhere. Energy drops fast. A sparrow's tweet might reach 20 feet, then poof, gone. Check this. Short waves bunch up, die quick. That's why foghorns use bass. Reach far, cut through haze. Birds, they don't need range, just enough to flirt or warn nearby. And yeah, ties back to PA systems. Bass needs power because those long waves take more energy to push out without dying. Treble, easier to make loud, but it vanishes quicker. Want to linger on the waves or jump to that power thing next?
I think we've got the waves thing. Let's jump to the power thing. That's an important concept to understand, particularly if we were doing a gig outside and we'd need like some really high-powered, low-frequency subs, right?
Got it. Let's talk power for bass. Yeah, exactly. For an outdoor gig, those low-frequency subs eat power like crazy. Why? Because bass waves are big, long, slow, need serious air-moving force to hit hard without dropping off. A tweeter for highs, tiny cone, quick back and forth, maybe 50 watts gets it screaming. But a sub, you're shoving huge pistons, 18-inch drivers, at 20, 30 hertz. That takes hundreds, sometimes thousands of watts just to match the punch. Look at this setup. Stacked subs, amps humming, all for that rumble you feel in your chest. And here's another. Massive array at a festival. Subs lined up like tanks. See the difference? Treble speakers sit up top, light on juice. Bass, ground-level beasts, guzzling amps to push those long waves through wind, crowd, distance. Without it, the kick drum's just meh. If you're running outside, double the sub power, triple if it's windy. Keeps the groove alive, even back at the bar. Want to see a quick wattage breakdown or move on?
Yes, I do want to see a wattage breakdown, but can you maybe put it in kind of like a ratio thing? I don't know whether it's like 60, 20, 20 or 70, 20, 10, low, mid and high.
Sure, let's break down the power ratios. I'll grab some visuals. Yeah, so for a typical outdoor gig, say rock or EDM, power splits like this. Bass gets the lion's share. Think roughly 60 to 70% on the low-end subs. Why? Those big drivers need juice to move air. Think 500 to 1,000 watts per sub just for clean thump. Mids, vocals, guitars, maybe 20 to 30%. They're efficient, smaller cones, so 200 watts each might do it. Highs, tweeters and horns, 10 to 15%. Super quick, low mass, 50 to 100 watts, and they're loud enough without hogging amps. Here's a simple pie chart vibe. Bass dominates, mids next, highs tiny slice. Or this bar setup, shows subs stacked high, mids medium, highs low. Real numbers? 1,000-watt total system, 700 on bass, 200 mids, 100 highs. Ratios shift a bit by genre. EDM pushes bass harder, acoustic keeps it balanced. But yeah, outside, wind kills highs fast, so you overpower lows to feel them everywhere. Make sense? Or want me to tweak the numbers for a specific setup?
No, I think that absolutely makes sense. I think the 70-20-10 thing's a really good one to remember for us all.
Yeah, 70-20-10. Easy to stick in your head. Bass, 70% power, big, hungry subs. Mids, 20, your voice, guitars, everything that carries the song. Highs, 10, just enough sparkle without wasting watts. And honestly, that split saves headaches at soundcheck. You crank the lows first, then layer mids, tweak highs last. Keeps the whole thing balanced, even when wind's kicking up dust. Next time you're out there, just mutter 70-20-10, and you'll nail it. Want to wrap this lesson here, or sneak in one more, like how EQ tweaks those ratios live?
Oh, go on. How does EQ tweak those ratios live?
Sure, let's talk EQ tweaks. All right, EQ Live, it's your secret weapon to keep that 70-20-10 balance from falling apart mid-show. You start flat, everything even, then tweak. Say the bass feels thin outside. You boost low end, maybe 40 to 80 hertz, 3 to 6 decibels. That pumps the subs without cranking amps, adds thump where wind steals it. Mids getting boxy? Cut around 300 hertz, quick notch, 2 or 3 decibels down. Clears mud so vocals punch through. Highs too harsh? Gentle roll off above 10 kilohertz. Keeps sparkle without ear fatigue. Here's a graphic EQ. Sliders lit up, low ones up, mids dipped, highs subtle. And this parametric curve. Boost on bass hump, cut in the muddy zone. Live engineer at the desk. Fingers on knobs, eyes on meters. Adjusting as crowd moves, wind shifts. Key, listen, not just look. Walk the venue. Boost bass if back row's quiet. Cut highs if front's shrill. Ratios shift real time, but 70-20-10 stays your anchor. Want a quick before-after on a kick drum EQ, or call it good?
No, I don't think we need to we don't need to do a kick drum example. That's good. Let's call it good. Let's wrap up this lesson.
Okay, lesson wrapped. We started with pressure waves, rolled through hertz and decibels, saw why bass travels farther, why subs guzzle power, and how EQ keeps it all glued together live. 70-20-10, your mantra. If the schoolers need a recap, just rewind, or hit me up next time for mics, mixers, whatever's next. Thanks for the ride. Sounds like they're getting it.
Thanks for your time, Grok. You did a good job.
Thanks. Means a lot. Glad it clicked. Anytime you want to pick up again, mics, cables, whatever, just holler. Catch you later.
Wow. That was amazing. I knew it was going to be amazing. I mean, I think the fact of the matter is with Grok, I guess all AI, I don't know. I only pretty much use Grok for comprehensively. I don't use ChatGPT at all. I find it too, what's the right word? Sensitive. Doesn't always give me the truth I expect. But for something like this, where it's kind of science and engineering, it probably would. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. I guess there's some things to sort out with, not obey my commands. It was just wanted to listen to me and generate content based on what I was saying, which is, you know, the way it works. There's some glitches there, but the facts it was coming out with are spot on. You know, what a great way to learn, right? I think we'll do some more of these. I might even call these In Conversation with Grok audio. In Conversation with Grok. How's that sound? Anyway, let me know what you think. Take it easy.